On today's episode of Video Marketing Madness, my 5 favorite apps to use for video marketing. And today's episode is made possible by freevideoeditor.co. Are you looking to start editing videos like a pro, but you don't want to spend those pro prices? Well, head on over to freevideoeditor.co, where you can download our free video editing program, along with all the other great goodies that you can add to that program. So check it out today at freevideoeditor.co and leave off the last M for monkey or monkey. All right, and with that, let's hit our little music bed here.
He's Ray, the video guy. Yeah, Ray, the video guy. His skill is where it's at. Even if he's a little fat, he's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray, the video guy. Yeah, Ray, the video guy.
And it's the radio show about video marketing madness with Ray, the video guy. And I'm Steve Sleeper. That's me. And you can subscribe on earn.show, which is our home network, or Stitcher, or Blog Talk Radio, or YouTube, or Apple Podcasts. It's called Apple Podcasts now. Did you know that?
Well, yes, it kind of is. Yes.
Yeah. So, need a quality voiceover for your videos? Check out my Fiverr gig, and the link is on my landing page, stevesleeper.com. So, your top favorite apps. But first of all, this is like the first show in 2 years that we've done.
I know. Yeah, it's been like 2 weeks. So we've had an amazing 2 weeks. A couple weeks ago, we actually intentionally took the week off. Mm-hmm. And then last week, I was kicked off of Facebook for about a day. And apparently I wasn't the only one. Apparently a lot of people had this. They woke up to, actually, I shouldn't say woke up. It was working fine, about 7, 6, 5 in the morning or whatever. And then all of a sudden it said I no longer was able to access my account for security reasons. And I had to upload a picture of myself, which I'm not sure how that's supposed to provide security. And, later that afternoon, it finally did come back, but apparently a bunch of people had that same thing happen to them on that day. Don't know what it was, but we were gone, so we could not do a Facebook Live recording. We figured it would come back, so we kind of just held off, and then the day was over, and that was kind of it.
That was it. And then this week, we were going to do our show at normal times yesterday, and I've been having, I think my computer hard drive is dying because it's all of a sudden, the computer's running really slow for certain things. And it's weird things, like opening up a file. Mm-hmm. And it takes, 10 minutes to do it instead of 10 seconds, well, not even 10 seconds, probably 1 second. Little things like that. But, I would do things like this. We're doing mimoLive on that computer, and it's having no problem keeping up. So it's weird little things, which makes me think it's some sort of a hard drive issue. But I guess we'll find out. And this computer's getting pretty old, so it might be time to just put it out into greener pastures and, get a nice new one. It'll handle all this live stuff, because this live stuff, believe it or not, this is a pretty hefty computer that we have here, but it is old. And this Facebook Live stuff that we're doing, we're running a pretty intense software that takes a lot of graphic power to do and whatnot. Even though our graphics here aren't that fancy, but to move them around in live real time plus streaming, it takes up a lot of it. So that's the way it is, and that's the way we'll stay. But and that's the way it is.
That's the way I see it. So.
I'm dating myself, Walter Cronkite, yes. And that's the way it is. Okay,
that's right.
So your top 5 favorite apps, and I believe there's 5 of them.
I believe there is 5 in the top 5. Well, actually, no, that's completely untrue. There's actually a lot more than 5, and I'll explain why in a moment here. Because we're going to talk about alternatives for things. Because quite obviously, one of the ones we're going to talk about is the app we're using right now, which is running this program. But it's a Mac-only app, which means all you PC folks are left in the dust on that. Yeah. And so therefore, we're going to talk about, some alternatives and things. So other apps that would help with that. So anyway, let's get into our top 5. Here we go. So number 5, what the heck? We'll leave this one at 5. It's mimoLive. mimoLive is the software we're using right now to record this live on Facebook. Now, if you're listening to this as a podcast, which is our ultimate goal with all of these, you're not seeing that, but we're actually doing the recording and showing it live on Facebook at the same time.
And mimoLive is the software. I know, I keep hearing you beeping, don't we? And
Yeah.
mimoLive is the software that does all of that for us. It's like having a TV studio on your desk. So I can do things like lower thirds, and I can do animated intros and CNN style face-to-face boxes and over-the-shoulder graphics, and you name it, this software can do it. In fact, we've recently started doing shows for other people using mimoLive where I'm not on screen, but they are. It's their show, and I'm just kind of behind the scenes like a technician, just pressing buttons and doing transitions and all that kind of fun stuff. And boy, what a great program for that. We can go out live, we can record, we can go to YouTube Live, Facebook Live, we can go out to Periscope, we can go out to all the other streaming sites that you can think of, and very, very powerful program. You're going to love it if you've got a Mac, you've got a powerful Mac that can run it. You're going to love this program. Again, it's mimoLive. It is pretty expensive. It's actually about $200 per year, which is not too bad. I mean, it's worth every penny to me. I think I paid more than that, actually. They changed their pricing structure, but I think I paid like $500 last year for it.
Oh, no
But
kidding.
now it's
Wow.
$200, which I just renewed the other day.
Cool.
So that was fun. Yeah, I went to go get on live, and all of a sudden it said, your software is no longer registered. No, it's been a year. Oh, no. So, had to pay that unexpectedly, but that's okay. It was well worth every single penny of it. Now, what if you don't have $200? What if you don't have a Mac, but you still want to be able to do Facebook Live and YouTube Live? Well, there are some alternatives. You're not going to be able to do all the fancy stuff that we do here, adding graphics and things and whatnot, but you can do very similar things with a free program called OBS. Now, OBS is it's an open source project, and you open it up. You can add your video content. You can add live cameras. You can add graphics. You can add videos. You can add lower thirds. Not quite as fancy as this. Not quite as animated, and some of the graphics things are a little wonky and weird. But you can do it. In fact, many of the people that you see on Facebook Live doing interviews with other people, they're using mimoLive. And what you do for that is you just record the other person being on Skype or through another program called Zoom. Now, if you don't know what Zoom is a very, very good one-to-one teleconferencing software that's actually, I believe it starts off as free. So it's, I believe, zoom.us. And if you go there, you can actually set up an account, do interviews, record it, and do it live right to Facebook. In fact, I believe that they're adding their own direct to Facebook Live buttons on there. So you're still not going to have all the fancy stuff, but you'll be able to do the interviews with people side by side and have a lot of fun with that. Another software that you can use for this is Wirecast. Now, if you don't know what Wirecast is, it's actually very similar to OBS. It's a professional software. It's expensive. It's $500. And quite frankly, I don't think it's worth the $500 over OBS, and definitely not worth the $500 over a program like mimoLive. Sorry, guys. I love some of their other software, and that software is good, but probably not worth the price for people. But if you do need it, it's there for you. It's a very good program. So there you go. That's number one, and that's for doing our Facebook Lives and YouTube Lives and all that other fun live stuff. So our next one, number two, is going to be one that, again, multiple programs here, and that's the Adobe Creative Suite. Now, I put this together as one program because it is, I think that's my phone that keeps dinging.
Oh, okay.
I believe, I like to call Adobe Creative Suite one tool, even though it's really a bunch of programs together, but you get it for one price. Now, you do have to pay monthly. I believe it's $30 a month, somewhere around there, which is well worth it because you get Photoshop, you get After Effects, you get Illustrator, you get Dreamweaver, you get a whole bunch of Media Encoder is a really good one I use all the time, and a whole bunch of other programs that are very niche specific, and quite honestly, I don't even know what half of them do. You don't have to download all of them, which is kind of neat, so you don't have to put them all into your hard drive, but when you sign up with Creative Suite, there's a little button at the top of your computer, and anytime you need one of those softwares, you can download it at that time, start using it. They update the softwares all the time, which is really, really cool, rather than, Photoshop being updated once every year or two with a big, version 7, version 8. Well, now it's just a constant stream of small updates, and it really, it keeps you up to date, and it keeps you moving really quick with a lot of great programs, everything you need for digital content. So if you're not familiar, obviously everybody's familiar with Photoshop. It's an image editing tool and graphic design and things, but if you don't know what some of the other softwares in there are, After Effects is a video production like a special effects software. So you can put video in there and put graphics on the videos and do 3D graphics and all that other fun stuff that you see in really high-end stuff. In fact, a lot of Hollywood movies where you see really cool effects are actually done in After Effects. So it's a very cool software for that. A lot of the opens that you see on television for the news and for TV programs created in After Effects because it's a very cool program, very, very high-powered program for being able to do that. It also comes with Adobe Premiere, which is a video editor. So now you don't have to worry about, gee, is my video editor good enough? I can't afford a video editor. Well, now you're paying this Creative Suite. You've got that as well. So it's very cool to have that in there. Illustrator, for those of you that do illustrations, very powerful software, one that I've never really been able to get into very well, but it's a graphic design tool that's, a little more intense than Photoshop and a little out of my league. I use it sometimes, but it's still a lot of money. Also comes with Dreamweaver. If you don't know what that is, that's for creating websites. So it's a very high-end website editing tool. And of course, you get other things like Muse and Audition is another one that's in there, which is a audio editing tool. So it's kind of like video editor, but just audio. Very good program, much better than some of the alternatives that are out there. I know a lot of people use some of the free ones out there. This is a much, much higher end product and does some really, really good work. So that's the Adobe Creative Suite, which is our number 4. And by the way, I'm not putting these into specific order because quite frankly, that could probably be number 1 for most people. But these are just top 5 in general. So number 3 is going to be Screenflow. Now, I say Screenflow. Once again, we're going to have multiple programs in here. Screenflow is a Mac-only program. What it does is it allows you to capture your screen and edit your videos. I use this probably on a daily basis for recording training videos or capturing webinars that people are doing or recording PowerPoints to use them inside of video presentations, all that other fun stuff. Very cool program, allows you to capture what's going on in your screen. It allows you to edit the videos, and it has a lot of really interesting things that you can do to it. Annotations, add graphics. But one of the neat things about this, and this is really kind of unique, I don't think any other program does this. If you capture let's say your desktop, and you've got 2 windows open in your desktop, maybe one is Photoshop and it's up in the corner, and the other one is, Illustrator on the other side, you can actually highlight each of the windows. It remembers that those are individual windows when it's recorded. So it's not just a video recording. It actually knows this is one of the windows, this is another window, and you can actually choose to highlight one or the other, which is a very neat function. You can do zoom ins, you can do call outs, you can do all sorts of stuff. And if you plug in your iPad or iPhone, you can actually record those as well. And it even has a gestures tool. So for instance, if you record your phone and you say, tap on this right here, there's actually a little dot that shows you what's being tapped on. And it can show 2 dots and have it slide or spread if you're doing some of the different tricks inside of your phone there. And it can actually show those off for you. So it's a very, very interesting program. A lot of fun. Now, again, that one is Mac only. There is an alternative. Most people have heard of it, called Camtasia. Camtasia is another great tool. To be perfectly honest with you, it's a little bit buggy. It's a little bit weird. It's not nearly as powerful as Screenflow. Sorry, PC guys, it's just not. It's very powerful. It does a lot of cool things, but it's not quite as easy to use and not quite as robust. But, of course, the guys who have Camtasia, you do have a little revenge. Camtasia for the Mac is not nearly as good as the PC version, or at least it wasn't before. PC version actually had a lot more in it. So there's the revenge on that. I think Camtasia kind of seeded that fight against Screenflow a couple years ago and hasn't really bothered to keep up at this point in time. But those are great tools. Capture your screen, do what you need to do there, and be able to create great presentations. So highly recommend either one of those. Camtasia for the PC, Screenflow for the Mac. Start creating your training programs and all those other things right now with that great program. There you go.
Very cool.
All right. Number 2. The number 2 program that I'm going to talk about is Final Cut Pro. Sorry, guys. Again, it's a Mac program, but this is my favorite. Not everybody else's favorite. So if you don't have a Mac, an alternative to this would be to use a program like Adobe Premiere, which we talked about earlier. And there's other great programs out there as well, including our free video editor at freevideoeditor.co. But Final Cut Pro allows you to edit videos. And even if you're not a professional editor, you can do absolutely amazing video editing. Because not only do you do traditional cutting and pasting and whatnots, but it actually has a lot of really cool built-in templates for you, graphic design templates, lower third templates, all that stuff that really enhances a video. And of course, there's a community out there that supports this program that has tons and tons and tons of things you can buy to automate different things inside of Final Cut Pro, including doing things like, full-blown TV show opens where all you have to do is go in and change the images and you're done. So there's a lot of really great things that people can really have some fun with and do some great things with. And so that's Final Cut Pro. And again, you're on a PC, Adobe Premiere, Sony Vegas. There's a lot of different options for you there as well.
Yep.
And the number one tool I want to bring out is something we have never talked about on here.
3,
and this
4,
is
5.
What's that? That's 5. Right?
This is number 6.
Is it number 6?
mimoLive, OBS, Adobe Creative Suite, Screenflow, Final Cut Pro. That's 5.
Nope, that's 4 because OBS was part of number 1.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Yes, that's the alternative.
Got it.
So,
okay.
All right.
Okay.
So the number one software, again, something we have never talked about here before, and something that I never really got into before, but this is something that's really cool. And the best part about it is it starts off for free. This is a Mac and PC software, and the software is called DaVinci Resolve. Now, if you haven't heard of this program, it's amazing. It is a very high-end video editing, video production tool, and it's created by a software company that makes very high-end software tools for video and filmmaking. Okay, so this is the type of stuff that's used in high-production Hollywood blockbuster films, but you're getting the small, light version of it for yourself, and you're getting that version completely for free. These guys have a very smart model with this. You get the full program completely free, and you can buy upgrades to it. So if you want to do something really cool, you can buy these different little upgrades to add to the software. But quite honestly, for most people, this is a very high-end editing software right out of the box. You can do all your green screening. You can do all of your editing. You can do your audio editing. Very, very cool stuff. And it's one that I never really played with too much until recently, but boy, oh boy, for a free program, it is absolutely mind-boggling. And I want to throw in one other kind of a bonus thing in here too. For those of you that like free editing stuff, there's another one out there called HitFilm. Now, HitFilm is very similar in that you can get a free version. You can start off and do some things, and it's a very robust software as well. But for those of you looking to start video editing on a budget without breaking the bank, and you want to do some really high-end stuff, these are tremendous pieces of software. I'm actually blown away that both of these are available for free and that you can do all the things you can with them. But again, HitFilm, pretty darn good. And DaVinci Resolve, amazing for free. And the fact that you can upgrade it as you go along, how can you beat that? So there you go. That's my top 5 right now of the apps that I want to recommend and tell people about, because it's going to make your life a lot easier, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool.
Yes, indeed.
Good stuff.
So there you go. Well, Steve, what about you? Do you have any apps that you use every day that you should be mentioning here?
Sony Vegas.
All
the time, baby. Camtasia. I'm a little more pedestrian than you. And then, of course, I do a lot of podcasts on Audacity. They've got a good compression and streaming rate converter for audio files.
A lot of people use Audacity, again, completely for free.
Well, and if you're doing podcasts, and I know this is about video, but Audacity is a pretty good editor. Now,
it's very good.
I find that Vegas is a little more functional from an editing standpoint. So I edit audio files in it, even though it's a video editing software. But yeah, Audacity is great for that. So those are, let me look on my computer here. What else do I have? I think that's it. I don't think I've got anything else on there. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Beautiful.
So yeah.
Well,
absolutely. Hey, do you have a Mindset Matters this week?
Well, of course I do. Let's play that little bumper and see if it gives us our little.
Yeah.
Our little
And now, Mindset Matters.
All right, so for Mindset Matters, we're going back into the world of podcasting one more time. And hopefully I've never mentioned this one before in Mindset Matters, but I don't think I have. And that is a podcast by a friend of ours named Pat Flynn. Now, we have talked about in the past his main podcast, but this one is one of his other podcasts called Ask Pat. Now, what I love about this one is he's answering questions from people, and these podcast episodes are nice and short. So you can literally just get, a podcast episode in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And it makes for very digestible, easy to get into podcasts with a lot of very direct information, because people ask all sorts of marketing questions, video questions, podcasting questions, website questions, and you get a very direct answer from Pat on there. So Ask Pat, a tremendous podcast. He's already got, this one hasn't been around very long, but he does a new one every single day. I think just 5 days a week, but every day he does a new one. So he's already got like 300 of these episodes, probably a heck of a lot more than that now. That was back a while ago. And, you can't beat that. When somebody needs to know a very specific thing and somebody gives a direct answer like that, it's a lot of fun, it's enjoyable, and you learn a lot from it. So again, Ask Pat, check it out on the iTunes podcast area or the podcasting app or anywhere else where fine podcasts are distributed.
I think he's speaking again this year at Podcast Movement, which is
I'm sure he is.
You may have moved out of the area by that time, though. I think it's the end of August in Anaheim.
I will still be here.
Will you?
Yes,
there,
for about another couple weeks.
Yeah, it's in Anaheim if you want to go there. I was in Chicago last year, so I was able to drive in. I don't like airplanes. I don't like airplanes anymore. Mostly I don't like airports. I don't like the airlines. I'm not afraid to fly.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to fly. I just hate the whole process.
Yeah, I hate the whole process. And
I used to beat you and drag you off the plane,
Well, yeah. Then there's that. Yeah. Yeah, I lived out of a suitcase for long enough. So if I'm going somewhere, I'll drive. I mean, if I got to get on an airplane, I will. If I don't, though, I'll drive. Hey, it's the radio show about video marketing madness with Ray the Video Guy. If you like the show, ask a friend to listen. Need a quality voiceover for your videos? Check out my Fiverr gig. The link's at stevesleeper.com. And today's show made possible by freevideoeditor.co. Another free editor. I guess we should have thrown that in the top 5 because that's another one I use quite a bit. But that's a good one.
We've talked about that so many times that
it goes without saying.
It goes without saying. Our free video editor at freevideoeditor.co. And there you're going to not only get your editing program, but you're going to get all sorts of other goodies like lower thirds and graphics and things that you need to transitions, all the stuff that makes your video editing cool. So check it out at freevideoeditor.co and leave off the last M for mother.
Mother, yeah. Mommy.
Mom.
Okay, well, I guess we can wrap it up with the jingle, huh?
I'm sorry, did you say rap?
Rap?
You said rap.
Biggie. He's Ray, the video guy. Yeah, Ray, the video guy. His skill is where it's at. Even if he's a little fat, he's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need, he stays sharp like a crease in his pants. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing super sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah. Ray the video guy, yeah.